What's up, Previews World? It's Wednesday. It's New Comic Book Day, which means it's time.
Okay.
We're starting.
Hooray!
We're here. Which means it's time for, Previews World Weekly. I was going to say Free Comic Book Day.
Bingo.
Sorry.
Not yet. Not till May.
I looked over here and I was like, it's time for Free Comic Book Day. Not yet. Not until May. I guess I'm one of your hosts, Troy Jeffrey Allen. I don't know what I'm doing today.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
I'm allegedly your other host, Ashton Greenwood, aka the Duchess of Free Comic Book Day, and I need to take this moment to reiterate May. Okay. Since you've now confused everybody.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
May
guys.
6th, first Saturday in May at your local comic shop, 46 free comic books.
Rocking the Dunkin' Donuts off camera, I want to point out.
Oh, I thought you were about to say it was in the frame.
No.
Dunkin' Donuts, you should pay me for this.
I too also went to Dunkin' Donuts. So there you go. And the straw matches your shirt.
I'm so coordinated today. I took off my cape thing because I thought it was going to interfere with the mic.
I feel like that would be hot. I have a sweatshirt on. I'm already kind of regretting it a little bit. Let's just jump into it because there's actually a lot of stuff this week.
Yeah, it's a packed show.
Yeah, it's a packed show. Things we saw this week, right? This is how we normally open the show. I went to MagFest over the weekend.
Yeah, how was that?
I love MagFest.
Okay.
It's a video game convention. They do it every year at the National Harbor in Maryland, but slightly,
sort of near DC?
but kind of DC.
Yeah.
Depending on who you ask. It's a big event. And
I've never been to MagFest.
You should. I would recommend it.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's a party. It kind of feels like a party.
Oh, I love that.
That's probably the best way I could put it. It's there's never. It's one of those things where you could literally go there and not fit on the convention space and still get the full experience.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I had a moment on Saturday where I was walking around and literally it was just a gaggle.
Okay, yes.
Of gaggle of gamers, right?
I've understood perfectly.
A gaggle of gamers, probably more than a gaggle because I don't know exactly how many a gaggle is. All sitting down, Indian style, in front of the Triforce Quartet, as they were playing symphonic versions of video game melodies.
Oh, that's so cool!
And it was probably the most serene thing you could ever expect to see at a video game convention. It was amazing. It was, I enjoy it every year. I kind of stumbled upon it. It's usually around my birthday, and I kind of stumbled upon it last year. But this year I made it a point to kind of step in there and hang out. And yeah, of course you get the cosplay. Look at that Samus. That Metroid is amazing, right? And just tons of cosplayers.
Ooh, Solid Raven, I love a casual
Solid
cosplay.
Raven, I love the Wario and the evil Luigi.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. It's probably the most entertaining for me personally convention to go to.
Yeah.
We talk a lot about and some of this has to do with how our jobs, right?
Yeah.
But we talk about New York Comic Con as always seems like a lot.
Stressful.
It's highly social.
Yes.
And not even because you're talking to people, but just because there's a lot of people.
It's well attended.
And it's very condensed. San Diego, a little bit more chill.
Yeah, for sure. West Coast vibe.
West Coast vibe, for sure, 100%. But this MagFest, I don't know. I kind of dig it. Every time I go there, I don't have a bad experience. There's some conventions, I'm not going to say who, but there's some conventions where I'm like, this feels a little sketchy.
Ooh.
I ain't going to say who, but MagFest, I think it's one of the good ones. I actually enjoy going every year. So.
Did you cosplay?
No.
Okay.
I know I didn't. I did my little cosplay thing at the Cos Gala last year.
That's true. That's true.
I don't think it's going to be an ongoing thing. Maybe I'll do something for Cos Gala this year and then I'll share. But I just wanted to kind of take in the sights and sounds.
That's fair.
Yeah, it was fun. I loved it. I didn't see this, Ashton, but you called this to my attention. I guess it was over the weekend.
Yeah.
Adam Driver, Reed Richards.
Yeah.
This is not an announcement.
No,
it's speculation.
It's rumor.
Okay.
It's rumor. This is one of those things that just attacked me on Twitter.
That does happen.
Yeah. So apparently Adam Driver is the front runner, totally according to rumor, the front runner to play Reed Richards in the MCU Fantastic Four. And this is after John Krasinski appeared as him in Doctor Strange.
Yeah, whatever.
Apparently doesn't matter at all that happened.
Not at all.
I'm not mad about it. I like Adam Driver. Somebody that's a part of this show is grumpy.
Johnny, you want to defend yourself?
He's too goofy looking to play Reed Richards.
Rude. Is it because of the nose? Is it the ears?
He does have big.
I don't know. It's just
My ears stick out far too, so solidarity.
Solidarity. What were you saying, Johnny? That's it. Okay. This would have never crossed my mind. But having seen him in House of Gucci, where he's kind of, I mean, this is my defense.
Okay, I'm
I
ready.
feel like he's in House of Gucci. He's kind of this lanky, kind of detached, kind of being pulled in every direction by his wife, Lady Gaga, in the movie,
okay.
and his family, and he's kind of a dork. You know what I mean?
I need to see House of Gucci, but I have seen that in trailers.
Right,
And such.
and it's not the first time I've seen him play that character either.
Yeah.
There's actually a movie on Netflix right now where I feel like he's kind of doing the same thing.
Okay.
And I kind of dig that because the thing with Reed Richards is he's tall.
Yeah.
He's a slim
lanky.
dude. He's a smart guy, but he's also kind of just a little detached. And that's kind of one of his struggles as a character is like, you know, his wife is like, you don't have to work all the time. Like, you don't have to worry about the world's problems all the time. You don't have to do this, you don't have to do that. Worry
Right.
about your family, you know what I mean? And I don't know, I can see Adam Driver playing that really well.
Okay.
You know,
I'm behind that
put some
totally.
peroxide on the side of his head, let him go.
Yeah, Hollywood makeup magic. I'm not even worried about that.
Right. I'm kind of anti the MCU casting known actors. Like I had kind of a bit of a brain fart when I saw Charlize Theron in Doctor Strange.
Okay.
She randomly shows up at the end.
All right.
But this one I'm okay with. This one I'm all right with.
Okay.
I'm into it.
I feel like, a lot of the MCU is known actors, varying levels of known actors.
Varying levels. I think Scarlett Johansson and Robert Downey Jr. were the most known in the original
Yes,
crew.
definitely.
You know what I mean? And then there's a lot of people that became, well, I guess Don Cheadle too, actually. I guess maybe I'm full of crap, I don't know.
It's also a weird thing where it becomes hard to separate the MCU from these actors now.
Oh, yeah.
Like even if you think, even when I think back before the MCU, like I can't separate Captain America from Chris Evans anymore. Like I just can't.
Yeah. No, I was talking to somebody the other day. I was like, now you don't have, and I've heard actors and filmmakers complain about this, is that you can't. Now we're in this weird space where you don't have movie stars anymore. You have the characters, and those are the primary focus of the audience.
Sure.
And that's kind of a weird after effect of the superhero movie. So I get what you mean. 100% get what you mean. But like, I don't know. I'm into Adam Driver's Reed Richards. I think that's cool.
I'm with it.
I like that a lot.
I'm going to reserve my judgment until I actually see if this comes to fruition.
Valid.
Because there have been plenty of times when we've been proven that an unlikely actor can take on a role.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about Jack Nicholson as the Joker in 1989's Batman, but he did an amazing job.
Yeah.
Heath Ledger as the Joker
Yeah,
was
exactly.
unpopular too.
Yep. Pretty much anybody's played Batman.
Yeah, every time.
Right.
That person can be Batman.
Right. Anytime someone's played a Batman character that's, I don't know, maybe not Catwoman, it's always an issue. And most of the times they've nailed it on the head, so I don't see any issue with that.
We do have some comments coming in.
Yeah, what's up with the comments? What's going on, comments?
We have,
I'm ready.
let's see, let me bring it up here. Steve
Is
White.
Troy out of focus?
I think I am out of focus. In
Steve
general.
White saying Happy New Comic Book Day.
Hey, what's up, Steve?
Happy.
Annie is saying she's watching, but she can't hear us. It's not you, it's me. Ooh, deja vu.
Okay, at least it's not us.
Aquarius Kudo, Ripaverse.
Boo. I know what that's about, and absolutely not. Get out of here.
Absolutely
What does it
not.
got to do with anything, Aquarius Kudo? Come on.
And Ubalda's saying, hello everybody, happy Comic Book Day. Unless you're DC, happy belated Comic Book Day.
Okay.
Ooh, that feels personal.
All right. That's fair.
Shots fired.
It's a fact. It's just a known fact.
Pew.
All right.
Can we make Troy in focus during the next break, or
we'll do it right now.
Johnny's gonna jump
Right
in.
now.
I will say this real quick because before we transition to what's at comic shops, my teenage crush, Michelle Yeoh,
Okay.
is on top right now, and I love that. She won a Golden Globe this weekend.
Oh, did she?
Yes, teenage crush. She wasn't a teenager. I was a teenager. I was a weird kid, so I was watching a lot of I was watching Super Cop and Yes Madam and a lot of Hong Kong martial arts movies when I was 13,
Good for
14,
you.
15. And so, I feel like this is the point where my Troy from the 90s is being justified right now.
Perfect. I love that. I love that for you. Full circle.
Right. Everything Everywhere All at Once. She's great in it. She's actually really good in it. And she's always been great. I mean, from Crouching Tiger to
That's where I remember her from.
From Crouching Tiger? Yeah. From Crouching Tiger to just her short stint on Star Trek to Tomorrow Never Dies to there's a whole bunch of stuff that she's done. She's been in the game for about, I want to say 40 years.
Wow.
And probably the only I won't completely cement this, but I feel like it's a fair argument. She's the only actress who's in the same league as Jackie Chan.
Ooh, okay.
I'll say that personally.
Okay.
That's my personal take.
Okay, fair enough.
So,
Fair enough.
you know, you guys can argue with me about that, and I'm sure you have a lot of examples that might like contradict what I just said, and I will listen, but that's my take. Either way, I'm happy she got a Golden Globe. She better get an Oscar. That's my take.
At the very least, she'll get nominated.
She
that movie
better
is
get an
insanely
Oscar.
successful.
Right. She better get an Oscar. I'm not standing for just nominations. All in. Give her an Oscar.
Fat Angela Bassett, she won.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Damn. That's tough. That's the other teenage crush.
Damn it.
There's quite a few of them. I was a teenager. Anyway, let's get into what's the comic shops. Here's some of the books available this week. Actually, no, I'm sorry, I'm jumping ahead a little bit. Ashton and I are going to give you our picks this week.
Oh, that's right.
And then we'll show you some of the other titles available this week as well. Let's go. All right, I'm gonna go first. Screw it.
Oh, I was getting ready to do like a nose goes or something.
Okay. I was like, technically, I like my finger is close to my nose, but no, I wasn't gonna do it. I've talked about Mark Miller on this show quite a bit, right? You know, I'm a fan. We're gonna talk about him in the news too.
Yep.
I love his stuff, but even he can be an edgelord sometimes.
Man, what an accusation.
And it makes me tap out, right?
Okay.
And
However, I feel like there's a butt coming.
there's a butt coming. It just so happens that he's making a sequel to a comic that I legit had to stop reading when it originally came out.
Why? Too edgy?
It was too edgy for me.
Okay.
It was a little too, like, I don't even want to describe it, I don't want to explain it. But I say all that to say, the sequel's out and I'm recommending it.
Oh, okay. That makes no sense at all.
Because I love to play with fire.
Perfect.
And
great.
I love a good car crash, and I believe that Mark Miller does as well. Nemesis Reloaded is the sequel to Nemesis, which is a book he released, I think, in the mid-2000s, I want to say.
Okay.
It's about a supervillain. He's like the supervillain of all supervillains.
Love that.
And he's an individual so dastardly and so diabolically genius that I will not recommend the first book to just anyone. You kind of have to be in the mood for something kind of crazy, right? But if you like to see things that you're not supposed to, like me, right?
Man, this is a good sell. I like this.
You might be
Having
entertained / disgusted by it.
Okay, perfect.
So here's the description. The world's most evil comic book is back, which is a good boast I like. Who's Nemesis? Why does the eccentric billionaire who dresses up in a mask and cape want to terrorize people instead of helping them? Isn't it how this is supposed to go? Trigger warning, too violent and too cool for some.
It sounds like that's a fair trigger warning.
I think that's a fair trigger warning.
Yeah.
I know people that don't like Mark Miller strictly because of the first series.
Oh, no way.
Like I legit I have someone in mind right now who's legit was like, I can't mess with this guy. Like, no. But what can I say? We were talking about the Evil Dead trailer last week, and I was like, I like it because it goes there.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Okay, perfect.
It's the same energy. It's just sort of like, you know what? I just want to see it go crazy. Like that's all. Just go off. So Nemesis Reloaded. I'm going to check it out. It's in comic shops this week. It's 1 of 5, and that's from Image Comics. Also, I have to point out, Daredevil's out this week. And I'm also really big on Daredevil, especially since it's crossing over with the Punisher book, which is excellent right now. And I have not talked enough about the Punisher book.
Yeah, no.
But I will be sure to pick it when the next issue comes out because those two are crisscrossing and it's really interesting and really cool. So there you go. Nemesis, Daredevil, those are my picks this week. Ashton.
Yes.
What is your pick this week?
My pick this week is from The Static. It's from Band of Bards.
Oh, okay.
It's a horror anthology. It features 17 different stories that explore all of the different forms horror can take. So that might mean gore and slasher, that might mean psychological thriller, that might mean something more realistic like climate collapse. And it's funny that this is out this week because this is actually something I've been thinking about since last week when we talked about Evil Dead, and it's funny you brought that up too. Because you had mentioned like, oh, I like Evil Dead because of the gore and because it's like so out there in terms of like being a slasher film. And that doesn't really work for me in terms of horror. Like, yeah, it's scary, but I've kind of always maintained that for horror movies, you can scare anybody by just like dismembering a human body. So I lean more towards like psychological thrillers, like A Quiet Place really worked for me. I thought that was great. So I love this as a comic book because you get the full range of all of those things. So I'm excited to try some things out. Maybe there's something weird in there that would be up your alley, but I'm definitely looking for the psychological thriller in this.
I mean, I'm on board with that stuff too, so I feel you on that. Yeah, like you like the suspense.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm with that. I actually love that cover, by the way.
Oh, I also, this cover was like, man, that cover is actually what got my attention because I am traumatized by The Ring, like forever until I die. It's never gonna go away. If I had a sleep paralysis demon, it would be Samara from The Ring. Like that. I was way too young. I don't know why my parents let me. I was like 7 when that movie came out.
Yeah, that's not the
way
age.
too young.
That's not the age at all. Like I have 10 years on you, I want to say, and I saw that in theaters, and even I was like, okay. And not even the original. You're talking about the American one, right? Like, like I feel like the American one was actually pretty good. So yeah, I'm with you on that. Also, you said The Ring. I actually thought Poltergeist, but both, both things actually, truthfully. Yeah,
it's the TV static. It's like the
little generational gap there.
Yeah.
But I get it. I'm totally with you. All right, from the static, Band of Bards. Actually, had to talk with some of them at the Baltimore Comic Con.
Oh, nice.
Which was really nice. Yeah, I didn't do an interview, but I just got to have like a nice chat about some of the stuff that were coming out. Sorry. Sorry, guys. All right. So, of course, comics aren't the only thing available at your local comic shop this week. Toys are also a thing. Toys are a thing. Action figure statues, collectibles, et cetera, et cetera. So here's Natasha with the Previews toy chest for this week. And then on top of that, we're going to show you some Hakes items available this week from the Hakes auction. Check it out.
Natasha here to give you a look inside the Previews toy chest. Let's find out what's available at comic shops for the week of January 11th, 2023. Want to see more? Then check out my new show, DST Unboxed, where I show you what awesome new collectibles are on their way to your local comic shop. Check it out at youtube.com/collectdst. As for me, I'll see you back here next week.
Hakes is back with another amazing auction that is chock full of pop culture awesomeness. Here are just some of the incredible items that you can find over at Hakes.com. With over 3,000 auction lots of comics, cards, political memorabilia, action figures, and more, and all items starting at just $9.99, this is one auction not to be missed. Closing dates for items are January 16th through 18th. Don't miss this 3-day event over at Hakes.com. Hakes, America's first collectibles auction house.
All right, and that is the Hakes auction. And before that was Previews Toy Chest. So Previews Toy Chest is what was available this week. What is available this week at your local comic shop. And then Hakes is closing next week, but the auction is actively going on right now. 1,000 vintage, classic, graded comic books.
Damn.
Yeah, and like there's some, as you would say, bangers in there.
There are some bangers.
There's some bangers
Let
in
me
there.
tell you.
And also 800 toys from like your childhood. Like there's a lot of Star Wars stuff, but there's also a lot of other stuff on top of that.
Yeah.
And like I said, going on right now. So definitely, if you are in the mood to shop for some classics, just to shop for stuff that you can add to your collection for bragging rights, this is the place to go. Check it out. It's going on right now and it ends next week, the 16th and through the 18th. All right, let's jump into some news because we got Oh, I'm sorry. We got comments first, actually. What's going on in the comment
Posture is
section?
horrible.
That's all right.
Okay.
We're not grading on posture today.
All right. Gotta load it up. Here we go.
All right.
About, Steve White saying, "How about Nick Cage as Dracula?"
Interesting. There's a new Nick Cage movie
Nick
out.
Cage.
There was some movie that's out with Nick Cage right now, and I wish I could remember what it was, but it looked really interesting.
Was this the one about on the unbearable weight of incredible talent?
Oh,
no,
Pedro
there's something
Pascal.
newer. There's a newer thing out right now, and he plays some sort of it's like a horror comedy thing. And I think he plays a vampire. I don't know. Anyway, sorry. What's up, Steve? Thank you.
Annie says she's waiting for her car. She doesn't have her earbuds. She'll catch the audio later.
Okay.
And then a follow up.
Watching us run
I
our
love
mouths.
the commitment,
Her
Andy.
car is ready. Catch you later.
Okay.
All right, bye.
All right.
Ubaldo says, "I'm sold by Troy on new recommendations."
All right. Love it.
And
Show paid for itself.
Then Steve White
apparently.
says he dropped Daredevil, but I may pick it up again with the Punisher crossover.
You know, I will openly admit, Devil's Reign, but the stuff that picks up after that has actually been really good, and the stuff before Devil's Reign is actually really good. It's just it kind of the Daredevil Devil's Reign crossover thing kind of suffers the Marvel crossover syndrome, where it's just too much all at once. And like a lot of things are happening, you can't really focus on it.
Yeah.
But the current Daredevil book with the new #1 series is also as good as the previous Chip Zdarsky run, I should say.
Ubaldo also says Medieval Iron Man is on his list.
Oh yeah, that's on the Toy
boy.
Chest this week. Yeah.
Got questions about that one.
And Stantastic Four says he's still laughing at the gaggle of gamers.
I was going for alliteration. I was trying to find something that works.
Nailed it.
Nailed it. All right, let's get into some news. You ready to let people know what's going on in the world?
I'm ready to let them know.
All right, let's go.
That definitely felt more intentional than last week.
Yeah, last year it was like, what's going on? All right, what's going on
Everything
in the
I
world?
do is intentional.
Okay.
Okay.
What's going on in the world of nerddom, Ashton?
So speaking of Marvel crossover events, they are crossing over. So Walt Disney Company is celebrating 100 years this year, 2023, which is crazy. So they'll be celebrating all year long, and Marvel is going to get in on the occasion with a special monthly set, rather, I should say, of Disney 100 variant covers. So it'll feature Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse, Donald Duck, Goofy, and the rest of the gang. There's plenty to pick from.
I love Bluto as Thanos. That's amazing. All right.
No, that's not Bluto.
That's not Bluto?
Bluto is Popeye.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
Pete. Peg Leg Pete or whatever it was.
Pig Spot Pete?
He's the original villain from Steamboat Willie.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Is
That's
Goofy Spider-Man down there? Is that what I'm seeing? Oh my god.
Jeez.
This feels really aggressive somehow.
It does. I agree with you on that one. All right, the new Avengers cover.
There's Minnie Mouse as Wolverine.
There's Wolverine. That actually kind of makes sense for some reason. I don't
No,
know
see,
why.
for me, I think Donald Duck should be Wolverine. Because Donald Duck's always like flying off and has.
He does go berserk.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
That
Yeah.
gives me like weird, uncomfy, like Five Nights at Freddy's vibes. This is
That's
easily
a
the
good
best
point.
one.
Oh, that's a good one. I actually like that. That's fun. You know what? I miss Mickey Mouse. I know it's kind of
What,
weird.
like capacity.
I mean, just in terms of like, they don't do stuff with him.
Yeah, he doesn't do anything. Like they don't make shows.
Right. They don't do shows. They don't do like cartoons or movies or anything with
You
him. He's just kind of around.
You're in the wrong audience.
Do
Am
they,
I?
You're a
Johnny,
6-year-old kid.
Yes, I was
Mickey
saying-
Mouse all over the place.
father
Oh, okay.
of child,
Okay.
is
Are you
there
watching Disney Plus?
Mickey
No.
Mouse shows?
Or
What's
Di-
he
or Disney,
doing?
Channel.
Does he still do the hot dog song?
Yeah, that's the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. Whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's
I
still
guess
a
I'm just in
thing.
the wrong audience then, I guess.
They have a series of like Mickey Mouse shorts that they come out with periodically.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Actually, I know Steamboat Willie's going to go into public domain soon, and that's a bit of a...
Oh my God, really?
Well, we'll
They're
see.
not gonna let that
I was about to say, we'll
happen.
see. We'll see. Disney's going to
Yeah.
step in and be like, no, change the copyright laws.
No chance.
Everybody suffers. Anyway.
Make it everybody's problem.
Make it everybody's problem. But okay, 100 years of Disney. Look at that. That's kind of...
That's going on all year long. So there's going to be a new one every month.
Okay, I was about to say, because I was seeing those variants like a couple months back, too. So
Yeah.
it looks like they're lining up for the next couple of months in on top of that.
All year.
All right, cool. I'm into it.
All Mickey Mouse all year long.
All year long. So apparently I'm going to get tons of Mickey
Yeah,
Mouse.
you're about to get your fill. Don't you
Oh
worry.
boy. Oh, you know what? Sorry, just real quick. I saw something. I don't have any real need to go to Disney World anytime soon.
Okay, great.
Except for I saw that there's a light cycle, a Tron light cycle thing that they're doing. Did you see this, Johnny?
Yeah.
Am I the only one who saw this? Yeah, right.
Oh, no, it's a Tron Light Cycle run that's going to be opening up at the Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, at the Magic Kingdom.
Like in April. It's coming up soon.
Is it like, it's kind of, did they replace Space Mountain or something? I feel
No, people would burn Magic Kingdom to the ground if they replaced Space Mountain.
I'm definitely not the audience for Disney World paraphernalia.
No.
So what is this?
So Tron.
Yeah,
okay, they got the light cycles,
like,
right?
What is the...
So it's like a roller coaster.
Attraction.
Like it's a roller coaster attraction with the Tron light cycles. And I just happened to see, I guess someone was like filming, I guess their test of it or something like that. And I was like, well, okay, that's cool. I'm kind of into it.
Is it like glowy and stuff?
So it was during the day, so you didn't see the glow.
Oh, stupid.
But I kind of feel like that might have been intentional too. Like, you can't just show everything, but it looks cool. That's all I'm saying. Like I had a moment where I was like, do I want to go to Disney World? Maybe not.
Just to ride this roller coaster.
Just to ride this roller coaster? I was like, no, it's not worth it.
Here's a video of it. This is from Attractions
360.
Damn, I didn't even see this.
Attractions 360 on YouTube. This is actually in Shanghai Disneyland, but it went over so well that they're actually building one at the Magic Kingdom right next door to Space Mountain, basically.
Okay, all right. It definitely reminded me of Space Mountain a little bit. Looks like there's a little lag there, but
Yeah, it's a little lag. There we go.
But there you go. That is.
Oh, okay.
That is some. That gets me where I live. I also haven't been on a roller coaster in a while. I kind of miss that.
Okay.
Attractions 360 magazine.
The way you're like sitting in the cart is really interesting as well.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of the Batman from Six Flags, but not.
Oh yeah. I remember that too. Right. No, I just thought that was cool. Like, and I'm actually glad you showed me that because that makes it even cooler, actually.
That was pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie.
That was pretty cool. I'm here for Tron propaganda at any time of day, so there you go. Anyway, sorry, let's jump back into the news. What's going on?
Mark Miller's back.
Yes, that's right.
He's back. Okay, so he revealed recently that he's doing a massive crossover event, or really heavy on the crossover events in news this week, bringing together 24 of his titles under his Miller World umbrella. So this crossover will be called Big Time, and it'll,
Big game.
Oh, it's okay. Lies. I'm about to slander the website, which you linked in the outline, Johnny, referred to it as Big Time. So
Okay.
fake nerds. Okay. What was I saying? Big game. That's right. All right. So it'll be 24 of his titles, like I said, and in a quote, he said, "Our books over the next few months lead into a crossover which ties together all of the Miller World franchises. There are actually 24 franchises altogether, if you count series like Kick-Ass, Kingsman, and Hit Girl. So we're putting them together into one mega story, which brings all of them together." Now, he hasn't said much in this quote, or really at all in any capacity, but it sounds super exciting. Pepe Larraz will be doing the art.
Nice.
And it's kicking off later this year.
Yeah, I saw a tease for this a couple months ago. Mark Miller's been very active lately online. Like he started doing an interview series on YouTube, which is actually really great. And then he's just been starting to send out newsletters and stuff like that. So I kind of saw a glimpse of this earlier. But I'm curious because I want to say it, 90% of these I already read and I enjoy. You know what I mean? So
except for Nemesis, apparently.
I can't even say. Well, here's the thing. I read Nemesis originally, and I was like, no, And then I went back and reread it, and I was like, this is ridiculous. I kind of enjoy it. Maybe I just became a horrible person in those 10 years.
Okay, perfect.
Maybe that's what it is.
Just the standards got lower.
The standards got lower. I just became more of an aggressive person. I don't know, but yeah, I'm way into this. I'm curious what he's going to do, and I'm sure it's going to be nuts. And just given Mark Miller's track record, it's going to be ridiculous. So I'm into it.
Let's do it.
We have a couple more comments.
Yeah, what's going on? Comments? Jump in.
Steve White, Renfield is the new director.
That's what it is.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
JW say they do the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse still. Yes, they do.
Hot
Okay.
dog, hot dog, hot
Had
diggity
no
dog.
idea.
Ball is saying there is a video on YouTube right on night testing on the ride. So
Okay.
Okay, sweet.
This construction for the Tron ride has been going on forever.
Forever.
Since
I
before
just
the
heard
pandemic.
about it.
And he's also saying Johnny with the awesome shirts every week.
Johnny's shirt game is strong. That's fact.
It is.
It is. There you go.
Yeah. This is my.
Oh, I didn't even notice it was Star Wars stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just kind of like assumed it was Lilo and Stitch just because of the color and theme. I didn't realize it was Star Wars either.
Yoda could be mistaken for Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty funny. I forget which one is Lilo and which one is Stitch, but I know the one that you're talking about. I know what you're talking
Stitch
about.
is the little blue guy.
The little blue guy. There you go. All right.
But still good. Okay. When they come to get him at the end, he's like, "This is my family."
Animate family.
Yeah.
You guys remember way more about that movie than I do. That's okay though. Okay, more new stuff, right? What was the
There's some new stuff. Let me tell you guys.
Boy, yeah, there's some new stuff. This is the part. This is the part of the show. This is part of the show when we don't worry about the official press releases, and we get into some nitty gritty here in terms of things that have just been going on in the culture in general. So let me ask you this, Ashton: do you consider Joker a masculine character?
My knee-jerk reaction is no, not
He's
especially.
not. The Joker is not. The Joker is never.
He's very eccentric.
He's very. See, I don't know if this is the right word to use. I might be saying the wrong. He's very fey or foppish, maybe is the word I'm looking for.
Okay.
I don't know if that's the right word to use, but
I get what,
that might be
I'm with
offensive.
you.
I'm not sure. But I mean, that's deliberate. The character's always been that way. You know, from
sure.
Cesar Romero, even Jack Nicholson. Jack Nicholson was like
Very over the top.
You know, like come on. But we were just talking about YouTube grifters and quote unquote woke outrage, right?
Oh, yeah.
We were just talking about this last week.
I'm so excited.
This image, Johnny, if you could throw it up, circulated the internet over the weekend. And it was actually not this one. This one is actually worse than this one is actually very entertaining.
So I want the belly reach that's in the thumbnail.
Right. Where's the one where you just touch it, where he's poking
Where's
the
the
belly?
belly
There you go.
reach? There we go.
This image circulated the internet earlier. People are upset because I guess they assume it's part of some agenda. I don't know. In reality, it's a backup story. So it's not even a main story in the comic.
Oh, okay.
It's just a backup story. And this is just more kind of that culture war nonsense that seems to preoccupy the internet and comics in particular, but has no real outcome and is only half understood by a lot of people, to be honest.
So everyone's real up in arms.
Yeah.
Pitchforks and torches over
the fact that the Joker is pregnant in a comic.
These people need to read more fan fiction. That's
well,
what she's grumpy about.
These people need to read more comic books, period, truthfully. So, all right, you ready for Troy Explains a Comic, Ashton?
I'm so excited for
This isn't going to be as good as last week's, where I tried to explain Batman, the recent Batman storylines for Ashton. So, all right, long story short, he pisses off a magician. That's the short. So there's this magician witch character named Zatanna. She says words backwards, and that's kind of like her casting
It's
spells.
like Bizarro, sort of.
Kind of. And she wears fishnets and a top hat, whatever.
Okay,
And
as all magicians do.
there you go. And so she makes Joker pregnant for reasons I'm not too sure about.
So okay, so hold on.
Yeah, go ahead.
He makes the magician mad, yeah?
Yes.
And the magician's like, a pox on you.
Right.
And then he's automatically 8 months pregnant.
Right. Or I guess what Zatanna would say, Zelp. Oh yeah.
Oh.
A pox on you, I don't know. And she makes him pregnant for a reason. Maybe there's a lesson in empathy in here somewhere. I don't know. Maybe that's why she made him pregnant. I don't know. I haven't read the book, but this is my understanding based off of some recountings. I need. Oh my God. People were just upset about this all weekend. I kept seeing it on Instagram, I ignored it. I kept seeing it on Twitter, I was ignoring it.
What is everyone upset about? Like what specifically?
It's just culture war stuff. It's just, it's just the same old, same old. It's one of those things where it's like, oh no, DC Comics is changing one of your characters to make them more progressive, which is apparently a dirty word to some people, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, it just becomes this whole thing of like, they're taking our things away and giving it to somebody else. And it gets into like, the identity politics and all that stuff. It gets into all that stuff too. And it's none of those things.
So the fact that it's a backup story means nothing.
And
Apparently.
first of all, this is my thing. It's like, all right, first of all, I need the mainstream to know how to read comics if they're going to talk about them. That's a big thing because it's not like a lot of people going off about this don't actually read comics. I think that's one part of it, right?
Okay.
And then it kind of penetrates the mainstream conversation, and then other people get mad about it. Not everything is canon. I want to point that out. This is definitely not canon.
Right.
Right. And like comic stories do not function like movies. I think that's the other thing I need to point out, like the superhero movies, where it's like, this is a linear thing that like is going to last for the next like 6 follow-up stories. That's not that's not at all what it is. With comics, a lot of stuff is done for deadlines. Like, you know what I mean? A lot of stuff is like, wouldn't it be cool if we just did this real quick? DC has a whole line of books, had a whole line of books called Elseworlds, where they just were like, what if Batman was a pirate? You know what I mean?
Nice.
What if Superman was like
In Russia.
yeah, right. What if Superman was born in Russia? Like, that's the type of stuff comics do.
Yeah.
There's a lot of comics get put out every single month.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of different story going on at any given time, especially in the DC universe.
Sure.
Like, the DC universe has been kind of playing touch and go with continuity for a long time now.
Right.
And just in general, I don't want to be pretentious about this.
Do it.
But thank you, Ashton.
Over here like the emperor.
Right.
Do it.
Let it flow through you. Just a general media literacy, I kind of feel.
Ooh, no, that's so real.
And that's a real thing right now. Like, people are reacting to things before they even know what it is, before they even understand the format or the culture that surrounds it. Like,
or
they're just
applied any level of critical thinking.
or any level of critical thinking, right? And there's a lot of people online who consider themselves objective voices and critical thinkers and all this other stuff, but then they completely remove context from every conversation just so they can jump into conversations, just start fighting people or start arguments. And that's really what this is going on. And so, people are trying to uphold Joker's masculinity. And I'm like,
yes, that non-existent masculinity.
Joker's never been masculine.
Love that.
And actually, I got to give this credit to Mystical Green Beanie. We're actually going to do a round table. I give him credit. He makes very good points. He makes very good points. Mystical Green Beanie pointed this out, like in The Dark Knight, which is one of those Batman stories that everybody loves to reference, with this written by Frank Miller, art by Klaus Janson. The Joker, he's cross-dressing. He's putting on lipstick. First of all, the Joker wears makeup.
Right.
Like, let's get that out of the way right now.
right.
Right? You know what I mean? And so it's just like
That's a great point.
This mentality that the Joker's losing something by this backup story is ridiculous. It's dumb. It's just so goofy. And I just wanted to get that out there because I've been seeing a lot of this, and it's just like, I gotta be honest. It bugs me because I love comics. And I get the culture around comics, but there are also a lot of, like I said, a lot of grifters trying to get into this game to just kind of make $1 or get some views or whatever. And it's just like, shut up.
For as serious as comics can be, it can also be as goofy in equal parts.
Absolutely. 100%. It can be totally ridiculous. And that's the thing that goes over a lot of these people's heads.
From the internet, Stan Task Force saying, I hope his pregnancy goes well.
I hope you have a smooth birth.
Right.
I hope it is painless.
There you go. I hope it's painless. What else we got here? We were going to talk about Quantumania because we talked about Adam Driver.
Oh, yes, that's right. Nope.
Oh, the GoFundMe first?
Oh, all right.
Okay, so
You're
actually,
right.
the comic shop, Fat Jack's, what can you tell us about this shop?
So Fat Jack's is a comic book shop in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. It's kind of a staple of the comic book shop community, an institution even, if you will.
Okay.
It was founded over 46 years ago. It is the oldest shop in the Philadelphia area and one of the 10 oldest shops in the country. So quite a history there. But like a lot of small businesses, as a result of COVID, it's fallen on hard times, and they're kind of struggling to keep their head above water at this point. So they've launched a GoFundMe to keep up with their bills and keep the doors open. They're aiming for $20,000, as you can see here. They're most of the way there.
Okay.
So we wanted to give them some love, give them a little bit of a shout out, because like I said, they are an institution in the comic book community. And if you look through some of the comments people have left in their donations, a lot of them talk about how important that shop has been to them in their kind of nerd experience. So their page is up. If you have the money or willingness to donate, that would be awesome. Otherwise, we're giving them some lip service here, and we'll also feature them again during our comic shop shout out later in the show.
At the end of the show. Okay, cool. No, yeah, it's it's unfortunate. I saw that they tried to apply for the PPP loan and sorry, and Uncle Sam was kind of like, there's no money left. They just got to it too late, which kind of sucks. So I mean, especially if you're in the Philadelphia, right? If you're in the Philadelphia area and you want to support a local business, definitely donate to their GoFundMe. All right, Quantumania. So I know you're not big on the MCU. I said Quantumania.
You said Quantumania.
hard to hear in here.
Although, did you know there's a Quantum Leap reboot show?
Yeah, I've been watching it.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
It actually deals with like the previous Quantum Leap show.
Oh, it actually ties into it.
Yeah, it ties into it.
Okay, so it's not a complete and total relaunch.
It's a requel.
It's a requel, right? It's oh god. I was watching the Jay and Silent reboot, and they actually did probably the best part of the movie is Jason Lee explaining to Jason Mewes and Kevin Smith about the requel. Basically, It was actually hilarious. It was actually probably one of the best parts of the movie. All right, so Quantumania, there was a trailer. Johnny, I'm gonna kick this over to you. How do you feel about this?
I'm liking this. I'm the more I see of this, the more I'm realizing that, like, in true Ant-Man and Scott Lang fashion, it looks like it's going to be another heist movie.
Sweet.
Yeah.
First movie, they
Actually
tried breaking
makes sense,
into and getting the Ant-Man suit. Second movie, they try to get Janet Van Dyne out of the quantum realm.
Yeah.
So now it's an interesting way to introduce Kang the Conqueror. That like whatever he's having Ant-Man do, it's looking like a heist. He's got to go break into something and
Yeah.
well, I think whatever's going to happen is going to is going to be successful, and that's when it's going to unleash Kang into the multiverse.
Right. Yeah. No, this is one of those big payoffs for people who've been following some of the stuff that's been going on in the recent phase of the MCU. We introduced Kang in the Loki show, and he actually was warning people about his other version that's been kind of floating around.
Right.
And I'm assuming this is the other version. This is the version that everybody should be concerned about. We know that there's going to be an Avengers Kang Dynasty movie coming at some point in time.
Right.
The thing I love about this is, then this is the stuff I think that when Marvel in general, not just the comics, but the movies get right, it's absolutely perfect for a fan, someone like me who's a fan, which is like you take an event from the movies, which is like, okay, Infinity War, from Endgame, we found out that like 5 years had passed, and now we're seeing the ramifications of that. And so
Right.
Scott Lang has lost 5 years of his daughter growing up.
Right.
And so this seems to be the motivation for him doing the things that he's doing in this movie, which I think is great. I think like anytime you can tie that back to character,
Right.
I'm way into that. So I haven't loved all the MCU movies as of late, or TV shows as of late. I've been kind of getting a little tired of some of the stuff. I am curious about this though.
Nice.
So
Okay, good.
hopefully this is another multiverse of madness situation where I go and really want to see this in. Yeah.
And then it's boring.
Although I will say, I rewatched it recently and I was like, I actually like it. Natasha said it was boring. And I was like, okay. I mean, I guess I could see that. It was okay. It was all right. But we'll see. Quantumania.
To me, it feels like this is the actual official kickoff of the next phase of the MCU.
It probably is.
So it's
actually.
ramping up. It's
Okay.
like it gets me excited because of the possibility of what's to come.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
I haven't felt this way since they announced that Thanos was going to be the big bad in the previous movies.
Right.
And I'm excited about where this journey is going to take us.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, it's still kind of a nice little mystery, right, in terms of where the story's going to go. So that's also kind of fun. It's sort of like, okay, where are they going to take this?
In terms of mystery, I would say though, maybe they put too much in the trailer.
Oh yeah. I was talking to Johnny about this earlier. I'm hoping that what we saw in the trailer is actually more of like the midpoint, and there's there's way more to it than what we saw, but I don't know.
Marvel's really hit miss with that. Sometimes their trailers they get
Yeah.
it right, and sometimes they put way too much in
Way
there.
too much into
I
it,
think they
yeah.
put way too much into this one.
Well, and then sometimes they're just completely misleading.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Which
the
is
thing.
another thing, because did you hear that someone sued a movie studio about false advertising?
I did. Yeah.
Because they said that some actress was in the trailer, but then in the final movie her scenes got cut, so people sued the movie studio for false advertising.
Well, see,
cares?
so you know what's interesting about that? Like, that is normal. Like, that's a normal thing. Actresses in the movie. I don't know how big the actress was, but if the actress is in a movie and then someone gets cut out of it, that's not that abnormal.
Right.
But when you get stuff like what they did with the Suicide Squad, the first attempt at Suicide Squad.
Yeah, I was like,
The one,
did you see the call?
right, he's like, what?
Which one are we talking about?
The one with Will Smith. Like,
Okay.
that trailer is not the movie we got.
No.
And it's because they sent it to a trailer house and they cut it up to make it way more interesting and a very different type of story than what ultimately we got. That to me is offensive.
It is offensive. It is actually offensive.
But I did hear about the actress suing. Do you know, was it a major actress or was it like a...
I can't remember off the top of my head, unfortunately.
Okay. Yeah, if you guys know in the chat, let us know. All right, so let's get into more comic stuff, right? like comic official stuff. Here are the gems of the month
that's right, okay.
from the preview. You look so
Forgot where
lost.
we were in the show.
You're like, what? We have gone in a lot of directions this year. I told you the show was going to be jam-packed. All right, so Gems of the Month, the previews catalog for January is out right now at your local comic shop, and it is featuring items that are available in March, so you're available to pre-order right now. So here's just a glimpse of some of the Gems of the Month, and these are the titles that we have picked just for you. I'm just laughing off camera, it's distracting. So here's Anna Mia. Anna Mia, take it away.
Hey everyone, Mia here with a look at the Gems of the Month inside this month's previews catalog. Here's what's available to pre-order at comic shops now. And there are over 500 pages of eye candy inside the previews catalog. So run to your local comic shop and pick up previews. Or go to PREVIEWSworld.com/catalog to discover what's available to pre-order now.
We spent the entirety of that video dragging the Suicide Squad movie.
Yeah.
The first movie. I love the second movie. I think the second movie by James Gunn is great. Actually, speaking of which, I should point out, and I will mention this again at the end of the show, we're doing, Ash is tearing up.
Oh no, my makeup's
Oh no, don't do it. We're doing a roundtable on Friday where we're going to talk about the current state of the DCEU. So it's going to go everything from the Snyderverse all the way to this new incarnation that's coming down the pipeline with James Gunn. We're going to try to get down to what did The Rock do? Because apparently people are calling The Rock a liar.
Oh yeah, because they were saying like Henry Cavill came out and like credited him for getting him back as Superman, but then he got cut like 2 weeks later, and allegedly The Rock was actually involved with getting him kicked out.
Yeah.
Even though he had said he was involved with bringing him back. So is The Rock a liar?
I don't know. The
world may never know.
The world may never know. I don't know. But we're going to do a roundtable this Friday, and I'll let you guys know more about that in the show. All right, we're running a little long.
Where are we in the show? Is it time for the poll?
It's time for the poll. It's time for the poll. So, all right, hit us with it, Ashton. What is this week's poll? Oh, wait, we got to do the, let's do the thing.
Okay. I was particularly inspired this week to come up with a poll that makes literally no sense at all. Like, I just wanted to come up with the most nonsensical, pointless thing I could muster. Because I feel like my last couple have been, reasonable. Mm-hmm. So we gotta go back to unreasonable. That's where I thrive.
Okay.
So this week's poll,
all right.
In a fight against Thanos, which of these useless sidekicks is the most useless? Choices are penguin in an eye patch, a one-legged clown, or a beached mermaid.
Wait, I'm sorry. I got to read this all over again. In a fight against Thanos, which useless sidekick is the most useless? Okay. 167 views, 46 people voted on this.
I almost forgot to put it up. I put it up later than I normally do.
Which useless sidekick is the most useless? I mean, according to Jim Ross, a one-legged man in the kicking contest is the most useless person ever. So I guess I'm going to say one-legged clown. That's why did it have to be a clown?
It just needed to be random. It just needed to be the most random thing I could think of.
All right. Johnny, you want to throw in?
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know what to do with this.
I don't think I do either, but it's okay.
A penguin in an eye patch, a one-legged clown, or a beached mermaid. I feel like a one-legged clown would at least be a good distraction. Possibly giving other heroes a better advantage.
Very interesting to look at.
Just Thanos is like, what?
Especially if the clown launches into a monologue about how he lost his leg. Well, then there's 10 minutes
That's
on.
That's amazing, actually. That's actually great.
A beached mermaid? Are we looking at like a situation like Splash where like once they get beached, they actually turn into a person with legs?
No, she's beached. Tail, can't move, just her arms.
Is she just drying up in the sun?
Just like one of those like inflatable flaily arm tube
Oh
men.
my God, that's kind of dark actually. I don't like that one at all. All right, and then the penguin with an eye patch. Who's to say that the penguin is not actually useful, even though it only has one eye?
That's up to you to decide.
That's true.
I mean, a
telling you,
penguin
it's
with
the
no depth perception.
You say it's the penguin?
Yeah, the penguin's just like you want to be like looking around for something to eat, like looking for fish. Like at least the clown and the beach mermaid are more sentient. They could have an idea of what's going on.
I'm actually wondering if the penguin got its eye poked out by another penguin. That's actually interesting.
Took a flapper to the eye.
Right, yeah, took a flapper to the eye or got, like beaked in the eye maybe.
But now
I'm
I'm
just saying.
Penguin scuffle.
But now I'm just picturing this penguin that, like with an eye patch, like an actual sentient penguin who's seen some stuff, like Hannibal from 18, smoking a cigar.
You know what? I like that. Last time I trusted someone, I lost an eye. That type of penguin. Okay. All right. Well, it looks like our answers are all over the place.
I say penguin and an eye patch.
Penguin and eye patch. Let's do it. Let's see what it is. I don't think it matters either way.
Beach mermaid.
A beach
Wow,
mermaid.
beach mermaid. That's what? Okay.
I also feel like the people who are voting on these polls are actually not putting as much thought into this as I am. We're like
I mean, that's fair.
closely analyzing all the details and
I mean,
possibilities.
it's Twitter, the home of knee-jerk reactions. So I guess the reaction is like beach mermaid. It just caught everybody's
Keep it
eye.
scrolling.
Keep it scrolling. I'm in this.
We have some comments on this as well.
Oh,
No,
good.
perfect.
Oh, goody.
Fantastic Four. I thought about this week's poll way too long.
Great.
Okay, I stand corrected. Finally went with the penguin just because of intellect. There we go.
Oh, the penguin would be smarter. That's interesting. Okay.
No, like they went with like the most useless. That's the
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
he's an animal. The other two are human.
Human. Okay.
boys.
I got you. Okay.
question. I said that same argument.
Okay.
Oh,
Understood.
Maybe Thanos.
Sorry, Johnny.
Maybe Thanos is attracted to beached mermaids.
Thanos has attractions to weird things anyway, so you might have a point there.
that's valid.
Thanos loves death, so.
And this is go back to the movie trailer conversation. The Morbius movie. Nothing in the trailer was in the movie.
Oh God.
Was it not?
No.
I mean, I was not even remotely interested in watching it, but that's actually pretty wild if that's the case.
I actually had like some hope for the movie as a result of the trailer. It looked
Why?
fun. And then I got into the theater and got halfway through the movie.
Oh, that's right. You saw it in the theater.
It was like, what is this?
You know, the funniest thing to me about this is that Sony misread the room in terms of Morbius. So it came out, and then the internet was just having such a fun time just making fun of
It's
it.
Morbin time.
Right. That Sony was like, oh, let's put it back in the theater
No.
because people want to see it, and it just crashed and burned.
Like, no, they're laughing at you, not with you.
Not with you, Sony. Sorry. I hope this is the end. Like, I know they're making a Kraven the Hunter movie with that kick-ass kid. I hope they're just done with this.
They need to hang it up.
I don't think the last Venom movie did good. This Morbius movie didn't do well.
They did make a second Venom
Yeah,
movie.
just stop making these
Forgot
Spider-Man
about
spin-off
that.
movies without Spider-Man. It just doesn't make any sense.
It's weird.
It's weird.
There's never any real villain that feels like they should have weight because these
are the villains. Right, exactly.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. It's like it's just goofy, and I think it's just some sort of what do you call it? A consolation prize for Avi Arad that Marvel gave. I'll just be like, here, go make this crap in the corner while we play with Spider-Man. I really do think that's
to
what
have a
happened.
discussion like on movies that have been just based on villains, like Morbius, Venom. Oh gosh, what was the other one? Wasn't Black Adam's more kind of like a villain? Isn't
Yeah,
he?
Black
Or is he
Adam,
more of an
yeah.
anti-hero?
Although they kind of copped out a little bit with that. They kind of went out of their way to make him a little bit more. I guess he's kind of become an anti-hero, but yeah. I don't know.
Anyway, Morbius doesn't have a plot, and that's my thought on that.
Okay. I mean, I believe it. Actually, yeah, we were rewatching a video about Morbius, and Liz was like, "Did I see this?" I was like, "Yes." You sat here and watched the whole movie. I walked
very
out, but you
forgettable.
watched. I walked out the room, but you watched the whole thing. She was like, "Oh, I did see this," and I'm like, "Yeah, exactly."
Very forgettable.
Exactly.
The whole plot is like he's beefing with his buddy who might have a crush on him because he won't let him live forever and he has to be sick.
That's right. The Doctor Who dude's in that.
Yeah.
That's right. Anyway, whatever. Let's do some comic shop shout out. Let's get into this now.
This week's comic shop shout out goes to Fat Jack's in Philadelphia. As I mentioned earlier, they're the oldest shop in Philadelphia. They're struggling right now, kind of trying to come off of COVID and the effects of COVID. So we want to feature them again. You will see some images inside of their shop during the credits roll. If you want us to shout out your local comic book shop on the show, find us on social media, tag your shop. If they don't have a handle, just leave their name and use the hashtag #SupportYourLCS. We'll find your local comic book shop, shout them out on the show, and give them some love.
Yep. And here is your reminder to like, follow, and subscribe. You can hang out with me at PREVIEWSworld. That is Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube, which you might be watching right now, and Twitch. And our poor Twitch. We're going to work on Twitch. My New Year's goal is to make Twitch a more happening place. How
It's
about
on the
that?
list.
There you go. Ashton, where can people find you?
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Free Comic Book Day. Come hang out. It's a fun place to be. Also, since we're in like the Free Comic Book Day lead up, I'll say that'll be your first place to get any inside scoop on the Free Comic Book Day books. We started getting preview pages yesterday, so if you're interested in looking inside some of the books,
Okay.
that's the place.
All right, that's actually interesting. Also, speaking of PREVIEWSworld, PREVIEWSworld.com, come hang out with me over there. I do a weekly interview series, sometimes with writers, and I also do a Get Graphic series with artists. This week, I focused on Dahlia in the Dark with Joe Corallo.
Nice.
He is the writer on this one. Joe, he's done a bunch of books for Mad Cave Studios, including Beckstar. This is the latest book that he's doing with Mad Cave Studios. It is a fairy tale story, but it involves a hitman trying to save his daughter. So it's like the crime world and the fantasy world kind of get melded together to tell this much bigger story.
I'm with it.
Yeah, some cool stuff from Mad Cave Studios coming down the pipeline, and this is a perfect example of that. Also, I do want to point out that we didn't talk about this. There's a previous exclusive, Spyro the Dragon. Do you remember Spyro the Dragon?
He's cute. I do remember Spyro.
Yeah.
I was more of a Crash person though.
No, that makes sense. Like it did kind of come down to Crash or Spyro at one point, right? And I guess Crash kind of withstood the test of time.
I think so. Anyway.
I feel like Spyro didn't quite withstand the test of time. But these are previous exclusives. They are available right now. It's a vinyl figure. I know it looks like a plush to me, but it's
I thought
not.
it was plush at first.
Yeah, it's a vinyl figure, and that's available right now. So yeah, if you're a nostalgia-driven individual like Ashton and myself, and you remember the PlayStation days of Spyro the Dragon, this might be up your alley. That's from U2's Incorporated, and that's dropping February 22nd. You can pre-order right now through PREVIEWSworld Pull Box or at your local comic shop as well. Also, I mentioned this earlier in the show, the DCEU, which is not easy to say, roundtable
Make
discussion.
it as difficult as possible.
Right. Well, I think the fans started calling it that. I don't think DC actually calls it that. But we're going to talk about the current state of the DC universe in terms of film and television, right? Particularly film, because I know a lot of people are upset about James Gunn taking over. I think it's going to be an interesting time if he's allowed to do the things that he's allowed to do. But I have Mystical Green.
Keep Ezra Miller around.
I don't think he's part of the equation, to be honest. I think Ezra Miller's. I don't even think we're going to see that Flash movie.
How
to
is
be
he
honest.
not in jail?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Now we're going to talk about that as well. Because Ezra Miller's a wild boy. We're going to talk about the Flash movie. We're going to talk about the Snyderverse and the Justice League League cut that they did. We're going to talk about Black Adam, and like I said, we're going to get down to why is The Rock being villainized right now?
Liar.
Never thought we'd see that day where The Rock would become the bad guy.
Right.
Which is actually kind of hilarious because he finally plays a bad guy in a movie, and look what happened. And then we're going to talk about James Gunn and the future of the DC universe in terms of film. It's going to be myself, Mystical Green Beanie, who is always in the comments trolling us. It seems like filmmaker Joe Carabeo, and on top of that, Action A Go-Go, who's Action A Go-Go site editor-in-chief. Action A Go-Go editor-in-chief Derek Scarzella. Yeah, we're just gonna have a fun conversation, and we invite you guys to be part of that live chat. Feel free to argue your point about why maybe the Snyderverse should stick around. Apparently that was a thing this weekend too. People were asking Netflix to bring back the Snyderverse. None of it makes sense.
What?
I guess this is just the world we're in now.
All right.
But yeah, join the live chat. That'll be on Friday at 5 p.m. And definitely keep an eye on PREVIEWSworld for links in terms of social media. So that's it.
We have few more last minute comments.
All right, what's going
on? Fantastic Four saying Spyro over Crash. You get to be a dragon and breathe fire.
I mean,
but when you're Crash, you get to be a bandicoot that wears pants and shoes.
And spin around like a tornado, I guess.
Spin around like a tornado.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll argue. I would argue that all day long and love Crash.
And instead of Morbin time, Obald is saying it's comic book reading time.
Way better than Morbin time.
There you go, because it's New Comic Book Day. That is it for Previews World Weekly. I am one of your hosts, Troy Jeffrey Allen.
I'm your other host, Ashton Greenwood.
And we'll see all of you at the spinner rack. Catch you later.
Don't forget that you can also get a sneak peek at upcoming comics by picking up a copy of this month's Previews catalog. Just ask for it at your friendly local comic shop.
What you want, what you want. Come on. What you want, Come on. Come on.
Thank you, Steve.